of our trip, and we are still on a mooring ball here in Rock Creek, or in Rock Hall, Swan Creek. I'll get that right one of these days. And nothing much really going on today. I had a problem starting the outboard on the dinghy yesterday. Played around with it some today, and I think it's ultimately just the fuel was bad, so that's going to take draining the fuel out of there and getting new fuel for it, which is kind of hard to do on the water. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that. But still not wanting to start, and I think it's the bad fuel in there. Occasionally, I'll drain some out and try to get it'll start to go, but just won't run. So for today, we're gonna run into Rock Hall. There's a coffee shop there. We're gonna have lunch there, and that's really all that we have on the agenda for today. So even though the dinghy motor is out, we can still paddle the thing, and so it's not that big of a deal. We're not that far from the marina dinghy dock. So that's really all that we've got going on today. Day 3 of the trip. Alright, so I got the motor. I'm going to start it again today. And yesterday I got it so it will run. Now I'm going to see if it is any better. It wouldn't stay running if I advance the throttle. So I'm going to go ahead and try and see if it is any better than yesterday. Maybe, hopefully, whatever blockage was happening has cleared. But let's give it a shot. So starts on the first pull. It's got a good idle speed, I think, which I think it's actually better idle than it was before. The idle's increasing, which I think was normal. Yeah, and see, as soon as I advance the throttle, it starts to cut out. Sometimes I can slowly increase it, and then it will slowly build up. Doesn't like being advanced. And then it cuts out. So, still work to be done. Alright, so we are nearing the end of day 3 on our trip. We are still at Rock Hall, Swan Creek Marina, at the on a mooring ball there. Today we went into town with the bikes. They have bikes that you can borrow at Swan Creek Marina. Took the bikes in, went to a place called Java Rock Cafe and had sandwiches there and some coffee for lunch. Then we went to a grocery store, picked up some stuff for some food for the next couple of days, since we'll be stuck on the boat all day tomorrow because of the rain and thunderstorms, and then we'll be leaving Monday. So today is Saturday. Leaving Monday, going across the bay again, probably to Bodkin Creek, which is up the Patapsco River. So we need some more food for that. So then one of the things I also worked on was that darn dinghy back there, the outboard. I couldn't get it to start before, and I think it was the gas. The gas smelled bad and everything. So, and the gas has been in the tank for, you know, at least a year, and also the can. It's been in the can for a year. So, I got a new can at the gas station in town, filled it with a gallon of gas, and brought that back. Drained the tank on this one, drained the carburetor, put the new gas in it, tried to start it, still couldn't get it to go. So, took the carburetor off, cleaned it all out, put the carburetor back on, and got it to start, but it will only idle. I can't give it gas and it cuts out. So there's something else plugged in there. So maybe me cleaning it out moved some clog further down in the line or something. So I have to go take it apart again, clean it out again, and see if that solves the problem. But probably wait till tomorrow to do that, since we'll be on the boat all day, and I'm really in no hurry to fix it. So, but that's where we are today, just sitting back, enjoying the wind that's coming in now because of the thunderstorms in the area, and having dinner on the boat on day 3. And here we are, day 4 of the trip. And we're still on a mooring ball outside of Rock Hall in Swan Creek. And got some weather on the forecast for today. You can see it's a little cloudy. Got a severe thunderstorm watch, I think until later this afternoon. And so I guess there's a line of storms moving in our direction. So we may or may not get a bunch, but I think it's like a 90-some% chance. And with some winds, but not too bad. I think 20 knot gusts or something is the worst it said. So we shall see, but it still looks like there are boats going out right now to sail boats and other boats. We're just going to kind of chill, hang out on the boat today, and that's about it. So our plan for tomorrow is to leave somewhat early. I think we're allowed apparently to stay here till noon, but what we want to do before we head out is get pumped out and then get fuel. Even though we don't need fuel, we're still probably above 3/4 of a tank, I'm sure. But I like to keep it full, just because when you let it get low, it sloshes around a lot and mixes up crud and stuff like that. So, but we'll head out. There's a fuel dock that opens at 9 o'clock, so we'll head out somewhere around 8:30ish to get over to the fuel dock when they open, pump out, get fuel, and that's probably all we'll need. But maybe pick up some ice. One of the things that with today especially, we only have this one solar panel, and if it's sunny, it's enough to keep the refrigerator going and everything okay. But like a day like today, it's been not performing very well with all the clouds, so I've had to cut the refrigerator off and on here and there, just to let it build up some charge. But we'll head over to the fuel dock, get some fuel, pump out. Especially this boat, like fuel and water and everything, we can hold tons of fuel and water, but for some reason the black water tank is so small that it fills relatively quickly. So that's the most important thing that we have to kind of get done. So we might as well get fuel while we're over there. We're going to head out. Tomorrow the winds will change direction, so they'll be coming from the northwest-ish. So we were thinking about heading to Bodkin Creek next, which is right out the first creek you come to on the Patapsco, which goes into Baltimore. But the winds look like they're coming out of that direction, so we can either make the decision to try to tack back and forth and go against the wind to get there, or we can just pick somewhere further south and aim for that. We could probably get back to the Magothy River if the winds are coming from that direction, or we could go further south. The next thing further south is back to Annapolis, and I really don't want to head back that way this early yet, but then after tomorrow the winds change back to south, so if we did get south we could always go back north again. But either way, we'll have to start getting to a point where we start planning where we're going to how we're going to get back. So if we've got all south winds and we're stuck way far up in the north, then it's going to make it really hard to get back. That's if we motor, and I hate running the motor. I'd rather sail, but that's kind of where we're at. All right, so now I'm going to take this carburetor off and take it back up into the boat to do some work on it. Take it apart again. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do with the boat moving around and everything. Again. All right, update on the dinghy motor. I didn't film putting it back in or taking it apart just because I wanted to get it done, but I took it apart, put it back together again, second time, and this time it seems to have worked for the most part. It's now running almost normally. It's still, when you give it gas, it still wants to cut out unless you kind of give it gas slowly, which I think is, from what I've read online, a lot of people have that problem with theirs new out of the box. Ours never really did that, I don't think. I think ours always, wasn't that sensitive, but maybe now it's developed that sensitivity, so I don't know. It may take some other, fine-tuning later on, but it works, and I took a trip around the boat with it, so that I'll go ahead and mark that off as done, project done for the day. As far as the weather goes, still kind of partly cloudiest, thunderstorms in the area. We can hear some thunder every now and then. It started to rain a little bit, but didn't really take off. So we still have a thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm watch, until I think 6 p.m. tonight, and it is sometime around, what time is it, Lynn? 2:30. So another 3 or 4 hours of the thunderstorm watch, and thunderstorms all around us, it looks like. So we'll see if we end up getting hit by one of them. All right, our storm has arrived, and we're kind of like, I guess, right on the leading edge of it right now. So I checked the wind speeds a minute ago, and it's about 30 knots, 28 knots, I think it's as high as it got. So right in that range. It's kicking up some waves and stuff on the creek, but not too bad. The boat's swinging around a bit, but not nearly as bad as our Oxford storm we had 2 years ago. So, and we're on a mooring ball, so much better than being on an anchor. It's Probably got another half hour or so of this. Rainy day dinner time. All right, we are out in the bay, just left Swan Creek, and we had planned to stop and get fuel and pump out at Gratitude Marina before we left, and I thought that they opened at 9, so we planned to be there by like right when they opened, and of course they weren't open. They didn't open until noon today, because I guess it's a Monday, but I thought their website said something different. But right now what we've got out here is very good wind for sailing. It's 10 knots right now. We're doing a little over 4 knots. We were up to 5 knots a minute ago, so we're getting 10, 13 knot winds. Kind of gusty though. It's dropping, like right now it's back down to 9, so we do have some sailing that we can do rather than trying to motor all the way across. And we're going to try to head to Bodkin Creek at the mouth of the Patapsco River. I'm not sure, based on where the wind is coming from, whether or not we can make that without a lot of tack. So we'll have to wait and see once we get out of this, around this shoal, and then start and try to head as north as we can. Winds are coming out of northwest, so not sure how well we'll be able to do. But we've got some boats behind us, sailboats coming out there, it looks like. And we are on the way on day 5. Alright, so we are flying now. We got 15 knots of wind. We've turned the corner from the shoal. We cannot make Bodkin Creek from here because it's directly into the wind, so we'd have to tack a lot to get there. So we're just going to go straight to the Magothy, which is putting us on close haul right now. And we got 15 knots of wind. We're doing 5+ knots over the water right now. So we're cruising.